Hello, hello. What is up? Okay, I am going to be finishing the last 10 decks for last month's review, and then well that's the whole plan for the stream, I guess. There's no end then. That's the plan for the stream. Um yeah. So, I mean, yeah, let's just get into it. Basically, yo, what up? Hello chat. Anyone else here play standard? Your deck got banned today? Oh yeah, standard bans happened today. I have not checked them, to be honest. What got changed? Okay, so in these decks, the sideboard are things to add, and the maybe board are things to cut. Those are my. That's how this works. I'm going to post a link here to the Architect folder so you can follow along. And yeah, let's just get into it here. We got an Abdel Adrian, who is the flickery, blinky boy. When he enters the battlefield, you exile any other number of non-land things until he leaves, and you make a soldier for each thing exiled this way. And then, commanders you control have, at the beginning of your end step, exile one target tapped creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Okay. Your favorite part of the stream is when I say, it's bobbling time, and then I salvaging station all over the place? Yeah, it's good. Is this recorded? Yes, yes, all the VODs will be on my Twitch and my YouTube, so you can watch them again later. In your station, straight up salvaging it. Okay, so this is like a. Oh, I forgot to. I knew I was forgetting something. I meant to pull up on Discord the thread so I could see what people said about their decks. Try to see what this user. Hi ho the Dario. That's a good username. See what they said about their deck. There we go. Abdel Adrian. And I don't think they said anything. Okay. I don't see it. Alright, well, I'll just have to look at the list and try and figure it out. I don't really follow standard at all. No, yeah, I don't really follow standard. I'm not a big standard head. I don't like my decks rotating. That's kind of it. Yeah, what up, Foxel? Okay, so we're looking at. I mean, I guess this is like a token energy deck. This is kind of funny. Today's the day your deck will be reviewed in the last batch. Yes, it should be. I don't think. Is Rebel going to be sad about the Steel Cutter ban? That card was like broken, wasn't it? Sabo's Web. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Okay, I guess that's why it's on the deck. Each land with an activated ability that isn't a mana ability doesn't untap. The heck? Okay. No, I agree, Hoffman. I don't see the. I guess we're talking about it. We can do GG standard bans. Steel Cutter band, Allah, Willow's Awakening, Monstrous Rage, Hardfire Hero, Up the Beanstalk, Hopeless Nightmare. This town ain't big enough, yeah. So, this is like really bad. For years and years and years and years, there were no standard bans. Like banning a single card in standard was considered like crazy. But now we just get bans all the time, which means you get a mini rotation before rotation. So your standard decks rotate way faster, And then because cards like Corey Steelcutter are super power crept and show up in Pioneer and Modern, they're more expensive than they would be otherwise. So you have more expensive standard decks that rotate faster. It's just like, it's just expensive. It's just so much money. It's just not worth like doing any of this crap. It's just not worth it. This article is very sparse. MTG Goldfish, he didn't. Nothing was written. Yeah, they want Scorched Earth. It's just like, it's just such a bad, like, they should just make bad cards in Standard forever, so they don't have to ban things. And then, because it's within Standard, if they're just bad in other formats, like, they're still good in Standard, you know? I hate this idea that they have to print strong cards in Standard, because they don't, right? You know, Serra Angel Hill Giant could be the strongest creature in Standard if they wanted it to be. There's no reason to print, like, you know, mega 2-for-1 Corey Steelcutter. It's stupid. Yeah, article. I mean, I assume this is just, you know, they wanted to be the first to market and just have something up. I'm sure Seth will do a full write-up. Or they'll talk about it on the podcast today. I was for sure they would randomly ban Shieldred even though she fell off. I mean, banning doesn't increase, like, their profit or anything. It's not like they're selling more Shieldreds. To be fair, even a bad card would be meta in a meta of the bad cards. Yes, yes, but they would be less expensive. That's the thing. Is if Corey Steelcutter was a $1 card, it getting banned doesn't feel as bad because you only spent $4 on your playset. But because Corey Steelcutter is really powerful, it shows up in multiple formats, it's a $10 card. So you spent $40 on this, and if you don't play Pioneer or Modern, it's now useless to you, and it's a much bigger financial risk. There's going to be a good card no matter what. I mean, I feel like that's coming from someone who just hasn't played for that long, because for a long time, the way Standard was there's no bans, almost ever, and there's 1 or 2 decent cards that kind of show up in Modern, and that's it. And that's how it was for like 10, 15 years. Like, yeah, alright. Back to the deck reviews. That's my thoughts on Standard. Standard still sucks. I'm not going to play it. It's not even 1999. I didn't start playing till like 2012, and that was still the case. Like, it wasn't until, like, you know, Ikoria that we really started, you know, or Throne of Eldraine, where we really started seeing the power creep. It wasn't that long ago. Yeah, trying to be competitive without proxies seems not worth it unless you have a lot of disposable income. I agree. This is why CDH is one of the best competitive formats right now. Coin monsters are printed are absurd for the standard print. Yeah. Hey, what up, Big A? Yeah, where do you submit your deck? You go onto the Patreon. So, you can join on the Patreon, Tier 2 or Tier 3. Patrons can submit decks. Right now, decks for June are open. So this is for May. I let people submit throughout the whole month, and I'm finishing up the May decks. So yours will be reviewed in June if you submit today, just to be clear. I'm closing submissions after today, and then you would have to wait, you know, for the next month. You were referencing Sarah Angel and being strong cards. Oh, my bad. Yeah. But they could make those strong cards in Standard, right? If they just, the next set had no creatures other than Sarah Angel, and the next creature had no sets other than, no creatures other than Shivan Dragon, they would be the best creatures in Standard eventually, once everything else rotates out, you know? Okay, alright, we're back to this deck. So this is like, there's like an eggs sub-theme, we got like an energy sub-theme. This deck is doing a lot of shenanigans. That is the name of the game here, right? Are the VODs saved? Yes, the VODs are on my YouTube and my Twitch. You are totally welcome to check those out. Brotherhood Scribe, Aetherstorm Rock. Consulate Surveillance, interesting. When it enters the battlefield, you get 4 energy. Pay 2 energy, prevent all damage of the ability this turn by a sword suit. This is kind of cool, right? You play this to get 4 energy, you flicker it with your commander, you get 8 energy. That's like 4 Mazaviths almost. That's kind of cool. Do I notice an increase in Patron members at the end of the month? Yes, because I usually post like, hey, last day to submit, and then some people will be like, oh, okay. Yeah, mono white background is kind of spicy. I agree, Yak. This deck is doing a lot of things, but how do we actually turn those things into a win? And right now, I'm just not seeing any damage. I feel like this deck struggles from the I'm going to draw a bunch of cards, flicker a bunch, and then I cast a board wipe, and they're like, oh, my 21 ones, and that's it. Another weird thing is we have Aetherworks Marvel. What are we cheating out with? There's nothing like big to cheat out, really. Isn't this kind of strange? No Conjurer's Closet? Yeah, that's true. You might join soon? Hey, I mean, no pressure, Kirby. Is there enough energy for the Colossus? Which Colossus? There's an energy Colossus? Is there one that I'm missing? You said June and May. Did you mean June and July? No. This is from May. This deck that I'm reviewing is from May. There's like a 1 month lag the way I do it. So I do agree that the Elish Norn Grand Cenobite. Man, I hate recommending cards that are over $10. This is obviously like a good ad because it actually just lets you kill. Oh, what up? You dug through 70 cards with finding a win con? Yes, hi-ho, okay. 8 energy is enough for my salvaging station Colossus. Oh, okay. Oh. This thing, Salvation Colossus. Oh, okay, my bad, sorry. This is a good finisher. Yeah. How do you feel about... Sorry, it's like bracket 6 with no... That sounds terrible. No bandless CDH is pretty not interesting. I'm wondering if there's more like utility finishers we can add in here. Like I kind of want like more oomph to this deck without like losing out on anything. You know what I mean? No one is crazy, but not hard to... Yeah. It's a card that I've been liking recently. Spear of Heliod. I've been playing this in some token lists lately. So it is an Anthem. The +1/+1 is really great if you're going wide. And then it also is just like a weird Pillow Fort effect because like, yeah, you can attack me, but then I just blow it up. Which is like kind of crazy, right? Like, it's pretty useful. I found this to be very good. And it kind of does, it's not a great Pillow Fort effect, but it's like good enough, and it's an Anthem. Cataclysmic Your Hold kind of works, but this deck is so artifact heavy that you're going to have a lot of boards where you just can't use it, Cathar's Crusade works, and that card is pretty budget. I'm trying to think of an artifact finisher for this deck. Because this deck has some artifact synergies here. Or a high artifact count. I guess I don't know how much synergy we have. Maybe we don't care about artifacts. With the Semblance Anvil, it is nice to have your finisher be an artifact. Abdel makes white soldiers, right? Yeah. Hmm. Artifacts aren't on the board 80% of the time. They're usually exiled into the commander. Oh, is there a way to finesse this with Cataclysmic Gearhulk? Yeah, okay. Uh, Cataclysmic Gearhulk. Oh, Thousand Moon Smithy. Yes, I totally forgot about this card. This card is crazy. This card's insane. Yo, what up, Guru? I'm doing alright. Kind of tired. Yeah, Thousand Spoon Smithy is really good. Um, so this card's pretty sweet. When it enters the battlefield, you make like a golem soldier dude. So blinking this is already good. It makes dudes. And then on your pre-combat main phase, you can tap 5 untapped artifacts, which is easy enough to do in this deck. And then you get this land that just, every time you cast an artifact, it makes dudes. This is a great finisher. Okay, so we got like a really good finisher, another Anthem, just for a little bit more damage, and a different board wipe, which I think might be better than... Cataclysmic might be better than Austere Command, I think. Knight Paladin? Oh. Yeah, this is interesting. This is a card that would be like a bulk rare budget finisher, except it's only from this and is probably not gonna get reprinted, so it's like $3. That's so lame. Halo Fountain could be cool. It is card draw too, right? Yeah, Halo Fountain's probably a good ad. Luckily it's not too pricey either. I like Halo Fountain. I always feel like more card draw is good in mono white. Dig Site Engineer? I might call it crazy. This thing? Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may pay 2 if you do create a construct. It's so much mana though, because you have to spend the mana and then pay 2 more. That's so expensive. I don't know. I think this card's bad. Staff of the Storyteller. I think this card's not too. This deck is not too weak on draw because it has a lot of cantrip artifacts and then the commander lets you blink them. I mean, hi-ho's in the chat so they can correct me if they feel like there is a lack of card draw in here, but I don't think it's too bad, but I really like that Halo Fountain is win con plus card draw, you know? Rebecca for Invasion? You're already evading a lot with Abdel. Abdel's kind of makes your stuff somewhat resistant to removal already. Okay, let's look at some cuts. A lot of these cards, I mean, the draw has never been an issue with playing this. Flickering 4 of those eggs. Yeah, exactly. I don't think we need that much card draw. I think we maybe just swap a card draw thing for Halo Fountain because it's also a win con or token generator. Like, it has a lot more utility than just card draw. Filigree Vector, especially for instant blinks. This enters tapped, makes energy. Okay. Sleeper Dart. There's so many weird artifacts in here that I've never seen before. Sacrifice it. Target creature doesn't have tap. There's next untapped. This is kind of cool. I like the utility. I don't want to cut any of the energy producing ones. I guess this is a finisher. So's Eldrazi Monument. When Elsewhere Flask comes to play, draw a card. Sacrifice to choose a basic land type. Each land you control becomes that. This might be one of the weaker cantrippy ones because that effect is mostly useless. How high power are we thinking? Because we go to chaining turns Gonti's Aetherheart. I think this is intended to be bracket 2, so I don't think we're going to be... weird artifacts I've never seen before. Yeah, like there's a lot of artifacts out there. Have I taken a look at the BNR? Yeah, I talked about it earlier in the stream. I mean, it's kind of like whatever to me because I don't really play standard, so I don't know. It's just indicative of how bad standard is right now in the way that they're handling it. This is tricky. A lot of these eggs are so just like low cost and like useful. It feels weird to cut them. And it's about to draw a card at 2 minutes for colors. Kind of sucks that this can't add double white for you, but whatever. And there's a for a basic land card or cave. Oh my god. Salubrious Snail destroyed me with a Scampering Surveyor at Vegas. He played it and grabbed a cave that exiles 3 things from a yard and just completely ruined my play. It was crazy. This card's funny. Stoke Zealot. Is a target creature to return to the battlefield? Okay. Man, this is tough. This is like this is a really efficient list. It's very difficult to come up with cuts because you know, like I can say Panharmonicon, ooh, it's win more or whatever, but like you don't have that many win more cards. This is a very like low to the ground thing. Scampering Surveyor gets Pit of Offer, yeah, it does. Man, Aetherworks Marvel seems kind of jank in this deck, but not jank enough to cut. This is such a efficient list. Damn. I think Price Statue is kind of mid. It makes a treasure, which is definitely something you want. It's not like particularly. I don't know. Scampering Surveyor for an Urza's Cave for an Evolving Wilds, yeah. Damn, I don't know. This is actually really tricky. I think maybe we cut one of these. I think we cut the statue. I think statue gets cut. And I didn't realize you had I missed the Eldrazi Monument on my first pass, so I think you actually do have a decent amount of finishers. Oh, man, this list is tough. I think these are my non-land changes. I feel like we can have more utility lands here, to be honest. This thing's so low mana that the treasures don't usually come up. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so here are my changes. We cut one of the treasure producers and the Elsewhere Flask because it has the least utility, and Austere Command. And then we replace Austere Command with the Cataclysmic Gearhulk because it has blank synergies and kind of does a similar role. We add Halo Fountain because it has more utility than the Elsewhere Flask. I know it's a bit more mana intensive, but your curve is low to the ground, like you said, so you probably have extra mana anyway. And it has this win con built into it, which is pretty powerful. And then we add in Thousand Moon Smithy as like this is a really, really powerful win con that will also like give you more board. I feel like those are pretty good changes. I think those are my overall thoughts. Maybe we could cut like a Plains or something for more utility lands. But yeah, Skyclave Evaporation seems decent as well. I don't know what removal we would cut for it. In bracket 2, this might be fine not to have a Skyclave. I don't know if you need the spot removal that bad. But yeah, hi-ho, I think these are my changes. This is a really good list. Like, this list looks really well constructed, so it's kind of difficult to add stuff. Seems like at this point, non-lands are all about the balance. Not finding new ones. Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to tell with a list like this because this list churns through itself very quickly. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next deck. The colors bounce lands, they're fine. They're kind of mid. Mr. Fantastic cards I own. Okay. So this is a Mr. Foxglove. When you attack, you draw cards equal to the difference in your opponent's hand and yours. And then if you didn't draw cards, you get to put a creature into play. So this, I guess, is just like a pile. You like these changes? You'll probably throw in that cave too. 2 people in my pod started running graveyard decks. Then yeah, add the cave as well. You can probably just cut a planes for it. So this is just like a pile of dudes, right? This is just like a pile of creatures. I don't see any overarching theme. I'll check this thread, see if they said anything. Mr. Foxglove, Mr. Foxglove. Cheats out literal garbage I had sitting around. Deck relies a lot on Foxglove, built around, and other players having cards at hand. I want the deck to be more draw heavy while not getting rid of too many jank trash creatures. Okay. Okay. So you want more card draw, right? Because you're relying on other people having stuff in hand. I mean, this is easy, right? Adding card draw in Bant colors isn't hard to do. I built this, I have built. Yeah, what a blood artist. Yeah, I have built this deck before. I didn't like my version of the list, but that wasn't because of the commander. It was just I built a jank deck. Yeah, we can add more card draw. I don't think that's too crazy. What's the suggestion? Own more cards. Yeah, true, actually. Let's cut some things and add a few more card draw spells. I know you didn't want to cut too many jank creatures, but we might have to do like 1 or 2 for some more card draw. Steel Seraph. Oh, it's this thing. Okay. All right, we're not really a landfall deck, so I think Zendikar's Royal is like the first thing that gets axed. Teferi's Ageless Insight. If you're struggling with card draw, I don't know why we're playing this. Aqueous Form Abundance. Wasn't that deck self-described as... You're correct. My Foxglove deck was built out of cards I didn't like. And then I didn't like the deck. So, surprise, surprise, right? It wasn't, well, what did I expect? Threats undetected. This card's a sorcery, and we're not searching for anything specific. We're not like a combo deck, so that's probably not very good. Asinine Antics, funny card. There are some better protection options, but I think I like bracket 2. It's probably fine. I think they do really need some more card draw, and I'm gonna give it to them. All right, you can play stuff like Regal Force. This thing's great. ETB, draw card for each green creature you control. Man, you put a Hornet Queen into play, you cast this, you draw like 5, 6 cards. Golly. Even with just this and your commander, it is +1 card, which is fine. And you're probably going to have like a random other green creature in play. This deck does lean pretty heavy green, so I'd be surprised if this wasn't triggering. We also, if we're just ramping into big things, and generic decks threat undetected is okay, card advantage. I mean, like, I guess it's like a divination almost. That seems, I don't know, I feel like we do better than that, right? You could just play Pull from Eternity. No, not Pull from Eternity. That's the wrong card. Pull from Tomorrow. Pull from Tomorrow. Draw X, then discard a card. It is great in a ramp green deck. You just play this and draw a bunch of cards. What else is like another good Bance draw spell? I mean, of course we need Rishkar's Expertise. I mean, this is like, I mean, come on, it's Rishkar's Expertise, right? I mean, I think this is a good start. Things like this that draw like a bunch of cards so you can attack with Foxglove and just put something to play are kind of perfect for this type of deck. Feels halfway between Divination and Stock Up. I think it's worse than both of those. Oh no, it's not worth it. It's not worse than Divination. You're right. It's in between. Let's add some more card draw. Let's cut Mockingbird. I don't know what Mockingbird does for us here. Even the score? Even the... Spell costs triple blue, less to cast if an opponent has drawn 4 or more cards this turn. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a Blue Sun Zenith. This is a funny card. I don't think I've ever played it. I do think, yeah, I think Guardian Project is kind of expensive. Yeah, it's like $8, whereas Garruk's Uprising is a lot more budget, so I will suggest that one. Yeah, Garruk's Uprising. This one's pretty good. Yeah, happy Magic Monday, friends. Green Slime? You mean the acidic slime, or is there a card called Green Slime? Oh, this thing. Yeah. It's not really card draw, though. I do like the card, though. Okay. I mean, this was a quick, easy one, honestly. Your deck is fine if you just want it to be jank pile of creatures. Does this commander die regularly? I assume so. But here's the thing about Mr. Foxglove is you can just ramp into Foxglove, and then if it dies, next turn play a 6-drop. Remember when Guardian Project was 50 cents? Yeah, I know, right? What about Insight? Insight? Is this Ristic Study at home? I don't know. I'm not certain what card you're talking about. Recurring Insight? Recurring Insight is something I played in my. I'll even suggest this. Let's get rid of your Temples Under Attack. Just play Recurring Insight and just draw like a billion cards. Oh, Commander's Insight. This? Turbo draws X plus an additional card for each time you've cast your commander from the game. Oh, interesting. That's kind of neat. Yeah, here's 5 card draw spells for your deck. This will let you draw a billion cards. I don't like Struggle for Project Purity. I guess Struggle for Project Purity is actually not too bad in Foxglove because you don't care about giving other people cards, but I still am hesitant on that. Insight. Am I missing something? Sorry. I'm sorry, I don't know what card you're talking about. Kemba. Blue enchantment for. Alright. Am I? Oh, this. I missed it. I scrolled past it twice. Whenever I'm going to cast a green spell, you draw a card. Oh, that's funny. That's an interesting card. Is this from Tempest? What about playing Windfall as draw? What's the worst that could happen? Oh. Okay, we got Kemba, Final Fantasy update by Yordle. Instantly, I'm kind of... What? How is this market 3? Oh, it's got a lot of tutors for stuff. Okay. Instantly, I'm noticing we got one instant. We don't even have a swords to plowshares. There's like no generous gift, no nothing. What happens if your opponent plays like a Magus of the mode? Do you just lose? Did I do Azusa yet? Which Azusa? I don't... There wasn't an Azusa list submitted for May. How does this deck beat, like, Ensnaring Bridge? Like, it just doesn't, right? You just completely fold to that card? Like, in my initial thoughts here, we have too much of this stuff and not enough of this stuff. I think you lose to, like, a single obstacle. So we need like a generous gift. Oh, you misread the title. Oh yeah, no, you good. Whoa. Oh, what's the one that makes map tokens? Get Lost, right? Yeah. This is good. Get Lost. I have like an austere command. Like we just need something to like, you know. Oh, you read it as I'm doing the June decks. Yeah, no. This is just the last day to submit for June. We're still. I'm just finishing up May here. Witch Enchanter. Yeah, we got Witch Enchanter. That's like it. And Lauren. It's just so removal light. It's just so removal light. I can't in good conscience not recommend more removal. Stroke of Midnight, yes. Stroke of Midnight. Dispatch. You know, stuff like this. Like get stuff like this in here. What's the new one that gives an opponent a cow? I'm unaware. Why not? Generous gift hits lands. Being able to develop a Cabal Coffers or something is like super important. All right, let's cut some stuff. I love how many utility lands you have in here. Look at this terrain generator. Not the Reliquary Tower, but like everything else is cool. Thespian Stage, Vesuva, War Room, Windbreast Kites. I mean, this is sweet. I love all the utility. It's actually pretty good. Bovine intervention, is that what it's called? Bovine. It hits artifacts or creatures for 2 mana. That's actually not bad. You know what? Let me put that in here instead of Get Lost, because Get Lost it's like $2, $3. You almost lost to a Maze's End because you Stroke of Midnight didn't hit it. Yeah, exactly. Generous Gift is just better than the Stroke because of that. Although Stroke of Midnight is also a good card, you know. All right, let's cut a few things. Equip creatures pay 2. This creature gets ++0 until end of turn. Whenever a equipped creature deals damage or blocks, deal damage to a blocking creature, deals that much damage to each other creature that play. What a crazy card! What the hell? We got a lot of swords. The Aether Spark. Ugh, this is so greedy. Does this live? Does this not just die? Is this card good? Does anyone in chat see the Aether Spark? This is like an Anthem. It's like 6 mana. This seems really high on the curve for what we're doing. Glimmer Lens is good. Expedition map for what? What do we get here? I guess War Room, it's like nice, but do you want to spend 3 mana to tutor up any of these lands specifically? Like, I get the toolboxy effect where you're like, oh, I can grab Inventor's Fair, and then Inventor's Fair can grab any artifact. That is a lot of mana for a deck that, like, I appreciate that in a slower deck, you know? For V3, I guess. That's so niche, though, right? I don't know. It's good, I guess. I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe 3-3 is just good enough. Feels kind of win more. You win Aether Spark in your battle teleporter by equipping the commander onto an orc. You know, it does attach for free. That is true. That is true. Thawing Glaciers is weird without land untappers. Yeah, it's kind of funny though. What are some other mid equipment? Argentum armor is so good, but it's so expensive, you know? Coat of Arms is meh? I mean, I don't know, you kind of need to... It is a bit win more. But this deck generates tokens pretty easy. I don't know. You could be right. Sinew and Steel, I actually like this one. I think Sword of Vengeance is pretty mid. It's 3 to equip and play. So I'm going to share this card's terrible. If your opponents like are playing with their eyes open and a functioning prefrontal cortex, it shouldn't do anything. Is Pure Steel Paladin here? Yeah, Pure Steel's in here. They have the good stuff pretty much. Nothing seems too out of place. If I rarely play creature decks... Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't play as many creature decks as other people do. Any equipment that has pro white. Oh yeah, wait. I gotta double check that. That one has pro white. Is there anything in the deck that would mess with that? I don't think so. It's mostly fine. Vanquish the Horde is fine. Steel Shaper's Gift is fine. Phyrexian Rebirth is kind of an interesting choice, but I actually don't hate it here. That's an MDFC. Enduring Innocence or Welcoming Vampire for token. I think Enduring Innocence is probably better. Because it's kind of a 2-for-1. I forget who said that, but was it Ness? Does Coat of Arms, is it bad because other token decks will get more value than you? Kinda. I actually think you might be right. Because if you play this and you run into another token deck, they're going to make more tokens than this deck does. And then it's just unplayable. Kind of feels bad for your win con. It'll make any of the mono white. Yeah, you can't equip a Glimmer Lens or Catechus or Robe of Stars if you have one of these equipped. But this commander makes things off of equip, so you always have something else to equip to. So I don't think it's like that big a deal. Conqueror's Flail. That card's good. I think I'm gonna skip it because. Oh no, it's under $10. This card's quite good. And this is better for the 200. You're saying either for this deck. I mean, is it enters or cast? This is enters. Is Welcoming Vampire also enters? It is enters. Okay. Banner a kinship over coat of arms. Yeah. Yeah, true. Cloud is like a... Yeah, he's like a Stoneforge Mystic. I think I want to cut Expedition Map. I think this is like so off curve for the deck. I don't think it's worth it. I do kind of like Enduring Innocence in here as well. I don't know what else I would cut. I do like the idea of having more card draw. Maybe you go down a land. Your curve isn't that high, right? Yeah, 3 is not too bad. You can probably get away with 40. I think those are my cuts. I think those are my changes. So we're just adding like a ton of removal, basically. Conqueror's Flail and Enduring Innocence, more card draw, and then this equipment's super good. 100% add this. Cutting some of the slightly win more cards, going down a land. Expedition Map's really slow. Smugglers Share is not very good. Sword of Vengeance and the Immortal Sun. Kind of expensive for what they're doing. And just, yeah, more removal. I think this will make your deck kind of run smoother. Yeah, Bloodforge Battle Axe. Oh, it's cheap now. I gotta reprint it. I mean, yeah, I guess probably Bloodforge Battle Axe over. And I don't know, maybe over. Bloodthirsty Blade's kind of awkward in this list, I guess. It's kind of useful, though. Maybe Battle Axe probably better than this. Everyone runs Farewell. Yeah. No, I mean, that's true. You gotta kind of sandbag a little bit sometimes. I'm moving on to the next. Moving on to the next list. Bumbleflower Control by Warsheep Pizza. I need to read what this user has said about this deck. What am I looking at? Looking at the deck that plays Control while following the bracket 2 rule of letting everyone do their thing. Is that a rule in bracket 2? Fell in love with Bumbleflower ever since you started brewing it. This is a deck that is pretty consistent on its own. Take a good while to go for the win. You can start to run out of resources at that point. I would like an idea of other possible win cons beyond Double Strike Voltron. Approach the Second Sun or Triskaideka file at flash speed. Thematic cards I'm missing here. Okay. Okay. No cards over €5. Sure. I can do that. Yo, what up, Airsofting Wrong? I also hate Farewell. It is a very lame Magic the Gathering card. Bumbleflower is a 1/5 with Vigilance. Whenever you cast a spell, target opponent draws a card, and you put a counter on target creature. It gains flying until end of turn. If this is the second time this ability is resolved, you draw 2 cards. So you want a double spell so you can draw 2 cards. That's kind of how this deck works, right? This is kind of interesting. Oh, yo, what up? You're in the chat. Hey. So I like this idea for the deck in general. I think this is a fun idea for a list, especially for control. And I'm wondering if there's a way we can grind out resources a little better so that you don't run out in the late game as much. So here's the awkward thing about Bumbleflower and Control is inherently a lot of these things like Opt, Negate, Consider, Brainstorm, these like cantrippy effects are not card advantage. They're card neutral and even card disadvantage in the case of things like Frantic Search or Snap. But they're really good to trigger your commander and get the 2 cards, right? I imagine Control whilst giving out cards would be hard. Yes, it can be really difficult because it's hard to police the board while giving your opponents resources that you need to police, you know? So you need to be able to... There's a few ways around this, right? It's either you play like Staxy effects, like Rule of Law, so when you give them cards, they can't actually play the cards. Or you have the ability to very quickly flip from I'm controlled to you're dead. So those are kind of your options. Pramicon stacks? Yeah, exactly. Like Pramicon. Basically counterspell draw on the same turn, yeah. So here's my thoughts. I want to cut the sorcery speed cantrips. They're kind of awkward because they don't let you do the counterspell then draw a card plan because they're, you can't cast them instant speed. And this way, if we like really focus more on the instant speed stuff, we can do that game plan a little bit better, a little bit more. Tameo Field Researcher. Is there a particular reason Tameo Field Researcher is in this deck? Am I missing something? I'm not crazy impressed about this card. Is this like a pet card, or is there some synergy I'm missing? So we got a couple of options. We have some 1-drop blue Tameo might actually be better. Yeah, I agree. I want to suggest Submerge. This card's very strange. If any opponent has a forest and you have an island, which in theory you should have an island, shouldn't be too hard, I hope. I mean, you got a lot of these lands. Maybe you don't have enough islands, actually. It becomes free, but you actually might not have enough islands. Oops. You gotta ban one of these spam bots. Evolution Witness. Whenever one or more counters put on this, return target program. Oh, yeah, this is a really good card. I forgot about this card. So this is perfect. This is, this is pretty perfect because Evolution Witness, whenever you put the counter on it, it lets you like return like a cantrip back to hand, and then you cast the cantrip, and then you draw the cards. So it kind of creates this little engine here. Tameo allows Bumbleflower to hit more consistently if I'm going for the double strike. Also, I get Dreamtide Whale. Okay. I guess. I mean, I'll trust you that if you say it's good. I am skeptical. Um, a deduce might be the move for blue instant speed cantripping. Draw a card, investigate. It's 2 mana. You know what I was? Here's what I was thinking. That I think could be good. Oh, is Ice Concept like $15? Or please tell me this is just the mystery booster printing. Is it really that expensive? What the hell? It's got like 1 billion printings. No way. Ah, man. Okay, it's out of budget. That sucks. Uba Mask? Uba Mask is not good for this version of Mrs. Bumbleflower. I'm so popular, I got bots. I had bots when there was like 3 people in my Twitch chat. Like, the bots are everywhere. It was crazy. You know, there's also a card that could be kind of cool. Victory Chimes is kind of neat in a deck like this. And maybe swap it for Felwar Stone. Because it untaps on each player's turn, so you get to get a lot of mana out of it, and you're casting on every turn. It's pretty sweet. Thank you, Airsoft Rock. Yeah, that kind of sucks that... oh, there we go. That kind of sucks that Scepter is really expensive, because that's what I was really thinking for this list. What are some like Scepter adjacent cards? Goodness, it's still too early. It's just Sanctuary and Gush. They don't have that many islands. Like, Gush isn't quite good. I want like a similar card, but there's nothing really else that does what Isochron Scepter does, is there? I think this is just wishful thinking. Yeah, damn. Okay, alright. Panoptic Mirror is like $50. Feel free to play the land base as well. The land base isn't bad. It just doesn't have a lot of islands, so you can't play like Gush or Submerge. I don't think the lands are like bad in this deck or anything. It's like, you know, it's a fine passable 3-color mana base. You're running all the, you know, check lands and the pain lands. For the most part, that should be good. Maybe we add Unwind. Is there something similar to Evolution Witness? Rewind's already in the list. Yeah, Rewind's pretty good. Ooh, actually, I like Sab Sun In. A lot in a control deck like this. I love the promo art for this card. It's so funny. You always find you cut Rewind? I don't mind Rewind in this list specifically. Smother and Tithe. Well, yeah, I mean, yes, Smother and Tithe is very good with Mrs. Bumbleflower. You're correct. But they said they intended for this to stay bracket too, so cannot add it. Holding 4 mana up is so tough. Yeah, but this deck wants to hold 4 mana up, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to already hold like 3 mana up so you can counterspell Consider. So like 4 mana to like rewind and then opt, and then that lets you have 3 mana to counterspell consider is like pretty good. Do you want Flash and Alien's Ven? I mean, there's already Alchemist Refuge and Leyline of Anticipation, so I don't think it's necessary. Okay, all right. Here are my initial thoughts. Here are my initial thoughts for the thing. Warshian, let me unwind over rewind. You know, I was gonna suggest adding unwind and rewind. Just go both. You know. Okay, Warshian. Here are my initial suggestions. We cut the sorcery speed cantrips because you don't really want to do sorcery speed cantrip, instant speed cantrip on your turn, because then you're spending your mana that you want to be holding up for the counterspell for the control plan. Especially if you're also trying to play like one of these things or something, it's kind of awkward. So I think we cut those, and then swapping Felwar Stone for Victory Chimes. I found Victory Chimes to be really sweet in control decks like this because it's kind of a mana rock that taps for 4 mana, which is really useful in this type of list specifically. And then Unwind as a second rewind that is often going to be better. Sab Sunin, if you found yourself running out of resources, this card is pretty great. It will be drawing a lot of cards, and it's a finisher. It is an indestructible trample beat stick. So it will close out games, and you can manipulate the counters on it to draw more cards. Seems really awesome in a deck like this. And it's like it's pretty cheap. You can find a copy of it for a couple bucks still. And then Evolution Witness was a really good suggestion. Basically, when you put the counter on it, you can get the cantrip back and then cast the cantrip to draw cards. And the next turn, you put the counter on it, you get the counter spell back, and so on and so forth, you know. Ooh, no dig through time? Damn. Is dig? Dig is pretty good. Can I find a spot for dig? There's no such thing as true group hug. Every group hug player always puts a win. I mean, that's definitely not true. I've run into players who have not put win cons in their group hug deck, and they're very lame. I don't know what to cut for dig through time. The thing about dig through time is you can't loop it with Evolution Witness, and it exiles things that you would loop with Evolution Witness. So maybe it doesn't work as well. I think these are my changes, though. I think this is a fun idea for a list. I might be playing with a similar deck idea, not Miss Bumbleflower, different color combo, similar deck idea that I may use in the future. Yeah, I think this is a fun deck. It looks cool. All right. I'm gonna move on to the next one. The one that removes a counter to draw a card. And Incubation Druid. Oh, Incubation Druid's the one that taps for mana, right? Incubation Druid. Yeah. I mean, this is not a bad ad either. It's kind of asking for a board wipe, but I suppose your deck is kind of that. I want to move on to one more list for now, and then I'll probably hop off, take a lunch break, and then do the other 5 lists. Okay, we are looking at a Oscar list. This is your Oscar deck. Is resulting in your quest to play Flash instant speed deck that doesn't feel clunky or kill on sight. This is your powerful control deck. Needs help closing out games. I hear that a lot. I love your input on. Okay, I see. All right. You want more loopable creatures like Kakusha or Junji, maybe. Add a combo, remain flexible. Okay. Right now, the strongest win is Razaketh with Nexus of Fate. Okay. So Oscar is kind of a cool card. Whenever you discard an online card, you can cast it from your bin. And then it costs 1 less for each different mana value among the cards in your graveyard, so he's often pretty cheap. Looks like so Razaketh lines are your main win con right now. With Nexus of Fate, I assume you're just looping. Okay, I see. So you just loop Nexus of Fate to take infinite turns. All right, cool. I see the plan here. Looks like a pretty sweet bracket 4 list. Does anyone have Blue Suns in this since we have an infinite mana combo? I don't think that's necessary. What is Bonded Flesh? Okay. Big Game Hunter, Arcana Cruelty, Archfiend. Okay, so if we're looking for some finishers, I have some ideas here. I want to cut some of the cantrips. I really don't like cantrips in a lot of decks that aren't like making use of them. The Careful Study makes sense because it's like a looting effect, but I think we can just have more like relevant, like higher power cards. Soul Ring, Talisman of Dominance, Urza's Bauble. Urza's Bauble is kind of weird in this list. I know it's like free card draw if you discard it, but it's not even like a. It's like we want to be discarding something good that we want to cast, you know. For more graveyard, Emmett Selch. What? Emmett Selch. Whenever one of our opponents loses life, you may cast target insert from your graveyard. That's kind of neat. Sure, yeah, this is a cool ad. I kind of like it, actually. It's like an enabler and a payoff. You do not like Flare of Denial? I also don't like Flare of Denial in this deck either, because what are we sacrificing? Our commander? Our big thing that we reanimated? That seems kind of bad, right? Breach the Multiverse is game ending. Breach is probably a good finisher here. If we want more finishers, what I think it could be easier is just to play more reanimation spells. Like, we have plenty of ways to finish games in this deck, right? Like, should we not be like reanimating Arcana Cruelty and then closing out games with this? What's that mono black lady I built that one time that gives spells flashback when creatures die? Oh, you're thinking of Toshiro? Mono black lady. Yeah, this one, it's only for instants though. I guess there's 15 instants. It's not too bad. Toshiro could be cool. I'll say Toshiro's sweet ad, and then also what's the reanimation spell that has buyback? Buyback. Corpse Dance. Yes. Oh, it's reserve list. Just buy the World Championship. Nobody will care. Corpse Dance. Big Blue Fish is a beater and discard outlet. Yes. Nezahal. Nezahal of Primal Tide is a crazy good card. It's just barely at the price. Metamorphosis Fanatic, 2/1 reanimation. Yes, yes. Okay, this is like 5 good ads. Let's cut I'll cut one of the more jank things. This is slow as hell. I think for bracket 4, this thing's slow as balls. Okay. Honestly, I think this list is like overall like a pretty good reanimator deck. I wonder if you want even more just like reanimation spells, you know? Maybe a Stitch Together could be good as well. If Corpse Dance is added, just keep in mind they have to tell people graveyard order matters. Yes, but it's only your graveyard order, right? Because it's from your graveyard. So it's not like Phyrexian Furnace where you have to like police everyone else's. It is just your graveyard order, which is fine. It's not too big a deal. And the card is really good. Seeing as Study is 5 CS is kind of mid and blue. I mean, yeah, you're right. You might just be right. I feel like we have a lot of, like, once we get one of our reanimation targets in play, we have a lot of card draw, so maybe something cheaper, like a Knight's Whisper, just early game for card draws, is better. Entomb, Unmarked Grave. I think you want looting effects over those, because that's how you, like, cast the thing with your commander. If it gets Ragavan or Gaunt, I mean, look... Sure, I guess if you're playing Ragavan, you should not order your graveyard because you might steal something that cares about it. That's your fault. Mimic Vat? Mimic Vat's kind of greedy, I think. Merciless Executioner? That's the one that makes people discard, right? No, that's just like the regular sack one. Nah, I think it's okay. Demon of Dark Schemes is an awesome reanimator. Oh, I almost forgot about this card. Yes, wait, hold up. No, this card slaps. No, you're right. You're right. This card's awesome. Let's cut a different, like, fatty kind of... what do we cut for it? I don't have too many, like, big dumb thing cards, because you don't want that many, but, like, it is good. You're just spitballing Call Center's dead right now. Hell yeah, dude. Is Archfiend of Ifnir too slow in this deck? Other than Tortured Existence, how much discarding are we doing? I guess we're doing a reasonable amount. This thing's slow as dirt. Let's get this crap out of here. There we go. Toxtrol never passes a turn, ever. I mean, if it does, you clear the board. If it doesn't, then, like, it ate removal. I mean, that's how your reanimator deck's going to go, right? Something's going to eat removal. I think these are my changes. I think this is a good 7 swaps. For the Corpse Stamps, don't buy the regular one. Buy the gold border one. Otherwise, I think these are pretty fun. I think these are good ads. It's kill on sight. Yeah, I mean, Toxtrol is kill on sight if you're a creature deck. But I don't know. It kind of draws cards, right? How did I feel the partner pair Timna Sidar Kondo? I think I had a Timnar Sidar list at some point. It was fine. It was good. It's pretty strong. Is Gary worth playing? With a commander that wants to discard, wind up currency converter or collective vault? I don't know. What about Drowned Lock? Oh, Drowned Lock's good. I kind of like Drown. Drown in a lock. Maybe we take that over Submerge, honestly. Submerge is good in CDH, but in Bracket 4 you get a little bit more time. You don't need it. Okay, I think that's going to do it for these 5. And I got the last 5 to go. I'm going to take a lunch break. And I got to walk the dog and such. And then I'll just be back and I'll stream the last 5. Thank you all for tuning in. I will